Ultimately, it's just a fact that our brains need closure. It needs an ending. If you're anything like me, you started and stopped something that you were interested in or cared about at some point in your life, or you're doing it right now. And you've done this multiple times. You narrow down options and you do one of two things: stagnate, or you start something and you never finish it. Here's why that is a deadly habit that we all need to break as soon as possible. Go ahead and grab a coffee, and your time is now. Have you ever been stuck between moving to 2 different cities, picking which major will pay you the most when you graduate college, or deciding what camera or phone you want to buy so much that it keeps you up at night? Psychology Today says that researchers dub the endless what-ifs as indecision or decisional procrastination. Chronic procrastination is often linked to neuroticism. All day and into the night hours, we ponder about what could possibly go wrong if we make the wrong decision. Honestly, I'd even add that we fantasize about what could go right in our ideal imaginary scenarios. Prolonged indecision often leads to anxiety, regret, and overall lower quality of life. What's the way that we can remedy the habit of indecision? Say this word with me: Zeigarnik. So Zeigarnik is actually not a word, but a name. Name of a Lithuanian experimental psychologist, Bluma Zeigarnik, who in 1927 gave subjects a set of tasks to complete. She then interrupted her experiment group multiple times throughout the experiment and allowed the control group to finish uninterrupted. The experimental group, who was interrupted throughout the process, recalled the steps at a higher rate at the end than the control group, who wasn't interrupted. So I hope that you go ahead and drop a like right now if you're enjoying the content so far. Please subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you always know when I upload a video. She decided to do this experiment after going to a restaurant and noticing that waitresses have a higher retention rate of more complex orders while they were waiting and after they had already served them. Therefore, she discovered that we remember incomplete tasks better than completed ones. Researchers argue that the Zeigarnik Effect can be used to remedy procrastination because once we open Pandora's box, it's hard to sleep at night until it's closed. That self-induced anxiety of the brain seeking an end to something makes us restless until we complete that task. But hold on, before you think that this is the solution to procrastination, there's one issue. If prolonged, it can lead to anxiety, stress, insomnia, and even burnout. Ultimately, it's just a fact that our brains need closure. It needs an ending. So while that may be a potential fix, you have to assess the opportunity cost of starting a lot of things and whether or not you'll be able to finish them. So I'd like to ask you, will you follow through with what you've already started, or what you start next? What's the alternative? Let's say you give up and you go back to wishing you were more than what you are right now, that you were more than what you were doing right now. You start something new? What happens when you hit a rough patch? You fuck up again and you don't see any progress. Are you going to quit and start over again and begin this endless cycle of starting but never finishing? A hamster in a wheel going nowhere. I personally believe that there is a moment in time when we should pivot and assess the opportunity cost of a thing and whether or not we should pursue that thing. When will you finish? Or would you prefer to stand there and burn in your own anxiety, stress, and insomnia because you didn't walk through the door that you left open? I want you to think about that and remember this: the Zeigarnik Effect. We remember tasks that are incomplete better than completed ones. Our brain needs an ending. If you enjoyed this video and want to address your procrastination head on, check out my video on 2 words that will help change how you see the world and potentially help you address your indecision and procrastination.